Talking with Words.
Welcome back to Talking with Words. You're here with Rob.
Taylor.
James.
Cameron.
And Ryan.
And tonight we are going to watch, what year was this? 1996. My Fellow Americans, which I know a couple of us know this movie. You've seen it before, Taylor?
Isn't this the same year The Matrix came out? Did The Matrix come out?
It was like 99, 98.
Yeah, Matrix was 98, 99.
Okay. I was checking.
It's just prior to.
Yeah, I've seen this before.
It's got a lot of people in it. And
I'm guessing Cameron's the only one that hadn't seen it.
I mean, I was 6.
so you've seen it a few times?
I don't recall what it is about.
This is described as two former U.S. presidents, hated rivals, joined forces to expose the current corrupt president at the risk of their lives. Figured we got elections done. Let's do a president movie, right?
Yep.
And if you're my age, you'll know who some of these actors are. I don't know if Cameron's going to recognize them all. Jack Lemmon, James Garner are the leads in this. Dan Aykroyd, John Hurd, who you might know as the dad from Home Alone, Wilford Brimley, Lauren Bacall, Sella Ward, Everett McGill, Bradley Whitford's in this.
Yep.
James Rebhorn.
Conchata Farrell.
There's a lot of people in this. We got a parent's guide. Should be pretty simple.
Yeah. Rated PG-13 for salty language and innuendo.
That's an old person movie.
Salty
Yeah.
language.
Sex and nudity, none. Violence and gore, mild. Profanity, moderate. Alcohol, drugs, and smoking, mild. Frightening and intense scenes, mild.
With the cast I just listed, I'm actually totally fine with sex and nudity being none.
Agreed.
And this was also directed by,
Peter Segal.
who did a bunch of SNL stuff. He'd worked with Adam Sandler for like 5 years doing his independent movies. I think he did.
I was going to say he did like 50 First Dates, Tommy Boy, Longest Yard, Anger Management.
Yep. And he do some,
He did a bunch of Shameless episodes too.
that was the other one. That was
Yeah.
it.
I've always preferred his brother,
Steven,
Steven.
Karate Time.
Judy Chapin.
And then you just block it like this. That's all I can think of with Steven Seagal now is Tom Segura's jokes.
And you do this.
Somebody come at you, you did this. They'll block it. Training cops. Cameron, are you excited about this film?
Sure.
Really good.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what to say.
Yes. Yes.
There's no musicals numbers, I don't think.
That's a plus.
So you got that
That's a
going
lie.
for you. Oh, is
They
there?
do sing a couple songs.
All right, never mind. It's a musical.
I mean, he has directed some pretty solid comedies, so it's probably not going to be on par with those, though.
I don't remember. I know there's some good jokes that I
Which
remember.
comedies do
Yeah.
you think were solid?
Not the same ones you did.
Yeah, that's right.
Because whatever you say, he already
Taylor hates it.
Not those ones.
All right, let's watch this thing. I was going to use it for the intro music again.
Ain't that America? Home of the free, yeah. Little pig houses for you and me.
You and me.
You and you. Da, da, da.
My fellow Americans, I remembered very little of this, but it did come back.
I wish you had remembered more so that you would be like, no, we probably shouldn't watch this.
You didn't like it?
No.
I think Cameron's the only one that didn't like it.
Why didn't you like it?
It was a comedy.
It's just boring.
Oh, you kidding? That movie moves. That movie. Think about all the plot points. There's like an extra 2 plot points in there because that movie cooks.
I will say that thanks to the pod, I now have seen this movie, but I don't think the pod that I have seen this movie, if that makes sense.
No one will ever ask you if you've seen this movie other than me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Check that off the list right now.
it was definitely softcore comedy.
It felt like watching a movie with your parents back in the day.
It really did.
Yeah.
That's a very accurate
That's what it felt like to
And
me.
It
Yeah.
felt like my parents were starring in it. But yeah, I think we're a little desensitized to. I mean, we movies now are over the top. If they're going to be a comedy, they're a comedy. I mean,
Well, and they don't do any of the innuendo stuff like this anymore. Now it's, they make a dick joke and they make a cork pop about him coming in our stuff. It's like, well, I just came my pants. Like, we're just going to go out and say it at this point.
yeah, the wet dream joke was funny to me. Probably one of the better jokes in the movie. But yeah, it's still softcore.
Softcore comedy. I like it.
Just women standing around in the kitchen cleaning things.
I think that's a different, that's from the nether regions.
Not to be confused with the Netherlands.
Yes. Yeah, I enjoyed it, but it definitely felt like, I remember when I was a kid, probably in high school, when my parents would watch a movie that they thought was hilarious, and I'd just be like, yeah, it's kind of funny. I enjoyed this way more as I'm older, and the political landscape is so different now that it looks like a totally different universe.
It looks almost sane.
Yeah. Their squabbles look totally fine.
This is definitely a movie that that they pitched. Somebody pitched the concept. 2 ex-presidents go on a road trip. All right, you got to punch it up. You got to punch it up more. Why are they together? Okay, you add a few things in there, but it's definitely like that concept movie. And go, I love it. We'll cast Jack Lemmon and James Garner.
Jane Garner.
James Garner would be perfect.
Mr. Peanut.
It said we need a movie to release on President's Day weekend.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I don't know. Was this the generation prior's Red?
What?
Go on.
The movie with Bruce Willis and
were they
retired
assassins?
retired
yeah.
spies and assassins.
But
But it was older Hollywood actors coming back
yeah.
to a role as older. That was another generation's version of older actors coming back for one last hurrah on the big screen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this was a very popular thing to do in the mid-'90s because you had Grumpy Old Men. You had like Gone Fishing. There's a whole bunch of them that had these guys. Had Walter
Matthau.
Walter Matthau was in a bunch of them. Even I could not stop thinking of Maverick because of Garner, but even that was bringing him back.
They let him ride a horse.
Yeah, exactly. And another one of these had SNL people in it. I think one of the guys was a writer, but I know. And then you had West Wing. We were doing that connection with Bradley Whitford.
Yeah. Yeah, this was, I think, Bradley Whitford trying to break into movies from West Wing. And, he's got to take the typecast roles first in order to get in there. He's a sniveling little weasel. Perfect.
I mean, it's worked out well for him for a long time. And he was in really good shape in this movie and had hair.
He's always been in really good shape.
I guess I've not paid as much attention as you have.
Oh, yeah, he's a fit man.
I know I saw his balls when he fell off that bench.
I have so many questions.
We're talking too fast for you. Do the weasel laugh. Yeah. And then we were trying to figure out if it was a Dan Quayle, which Dan Quayle used to be a vice president.
Mm-hmm.
And the idiot vice president in this, we were wondering if it was based off of the fear of if anything happened, he would become president.
It's got to be.
What does the
Isn't that
trivia
always
say,
been the
Cameron?
I'm trying to go for no speaking parts in this pod.
I can insert them when I need to.
Really good.
And then you had the Democrat-Republican. They did that part, but everything that they argued about back and forth was just a general issue. It didn't feel like Democrats were solely one thing or Republicans were solely one thing. So they did a good job of keeping it
vague.
That's the word.
Give me the politics in this fucking movie, please. Yeah, the difference. I was laughing, especially in the part where they're in the car with the family, because they were sitting there talking about the problems in this country, and I was like, this conversation could have happened yesterday. I mean, but it's not. It's 30 years ago.
No.
The only difference between now and then is that family would be on the way to the White House to kill the president or whatever.
With a starter
Yep,
pistol.
We're gonna take him out.
Yep.
In a Cybertruck.
Starter pistol doesn't count.
Yeah, starter pistol does not count. Which the father of that family was the landlord for Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
I was trying to place him for a while. I was like, oh yeah, he does the dance, the interpretive dance.
There was good little one-liner jokes in here, like little one-off jokes, like peppered into most every scene.
I appreciated the callback joke with the watch. He has to give
yeah.
up his watch to catch a ride on a truck.
Hey,
Sure.
Russell, what time you
You know,
got?
it's a watch. Only two of them like it in the world. He has to give it to a truck driver, and
Not just a truck driver, a Shamu the Killer Hick.
Thank you for that quote. It was a different time, pre-Lizzo. But then, yeah, to kick him when he's down later on, he's like, "Hey, what time is it?" And he goes to look at his watch. Oh, damn you! He doesn't say anything. He just gives that look like, ah.
Yeah, they did the things are starting to get too serious in this conversation that we cut into. Let's jab each other again.
I was on the cover of Time. So was Hitler. Not twice.
Yeah.
Great joke. Great joke.
Where would politics be without Hitler to compare it to?
See, nothing's changed. Yeah, I think the pizza quote was my favorite one.
Wet dream with a crust.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to use that.
That was another good phrasing,
Oh.
comeback. When he said that line, he's like, "Oh God, I do not want to picture that." What? I had one or two wet dreams when I was younger. He's like, "Well, great. I'll read about it in the archive."
And what was the depression line? He's like, it's a sign of depression. If you don't shut up, there's going to be a depression in your skull.
yeah.
Yes, I'm going to use that one too.
Yeah.
I think depression jokes were a little more widespread further back in history. You
It
go.
wasn't taken as seriously.
It had its golden age.
Well, like we had two different gay sequences. We had them in the parade,
Very late '90s of them.
Mhm.
and then the Dykes on bikes, and then the what was it, a freedom ring necklace? What did he give him?
Freedom ring necklace. Yeah.
Freedom ring necklace. Had to be something that you could see from a scope, I guess.
Rainbow colored.
Yeah, I'd never heard of
Dead
that
giveaway.
before.
Not a MacGuffin.
No, not so much.
We did miss the one quote. Can't shake. Got to keep both hands on the first penis.
Blinky.
Yeah. I think I'll start calling it from that from now on. What do you think, Blinky?
And they called it back at the end when he was when he rode by on the horse. He was like, "Somebody get Blinky."
Yep.
This movie has a memory. It's amazing.
Never see it anymore.
Yeah, you don't. They don't know what they wrote 100 pages ago.
Oh, so you've seen Rebel Moon
I'm
as
just
well.
I'm just grumpy old man over here.
You
I
and
could
Cameron.
be in this movie. Okay, here's a question. Were they ever on a bus in this movie? I don't recall that.
No.
No, they were on a train.
They did train, they did plane, they did horses, cars,
Helicopter.
helicopters.
And they were on the
Motorcycles.
truck at the
Trucks.
beginning.
Motorcycle.
Yeah. Yeah, motorcycle. Oh yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the one that they didn't get was bus.
They get a boat.
Mm,
Bus and boat.
Shit.
Well, they did sleep in a camper, so I think that maybe
Yeah.
takes placeholder
Slept
for the
in a
bus.
camper.
Fill in the yeah.
And they used golf carts.
Oh yeah.
Plus, speaking
It's
of the
true.
camper, I loved that one joke. Anytime you can make a scene where the punchline is just somebody smiling, I love that. She did it
Oh,
perfect.
hello.
She's you knew it was about to happen.
And then the kid kicking the guy in the balls, 100%.
Great
It's
punctuation.
happened to me.
Physical comedy.
I
at its
felt it.
finest.
Perks of having small humans, huh?
Mm-hmm. I'm hot. Thump. Cameron, what was your favorite part of this movie?
The trivia, just so everyone knows, is just like the movie. It's ass. There's nothing there.
Smells like or tastes
Nothing
like?
there. Not a lot of depth to the trivia. So
You don't have. There's no wisdom to you. That's why you couldn't get into this movie because this is old. This is a movie for old men, old
but-
souls.
isn't like Grumpy Old Men or whatever it's called more funny than this movie?
No, it's exactly as funny as this.
the same
I
shtick.
feel like it's better. I feel like it's better.
Have you seen Grumpy
When
Old
was the
Man?
last time
Sure
you watched
have.
Grumpy Old
Yeah.
Men?
Probably about 20 years ago when I was a grumpy old man.
We're
What
putting it
about
on.
Grumpier Old Men?
All right, let's pause this. We're going to do a double pod.
Yep.
No, the
gauntlet's
scene
been thrown
with the
down.
true Americans who have lost their jobs and houses and everything. Those are the best scenes. Like with that whole entire family, it was just fantastic.
You just like
Yeah.
watching
We already
Misery.
talked about it, so I don't
Mount
need to add anything
Rushmore
more.
being a natural wonder.
It's great.
Combine Davy Crockett with.
Yeah. George Washington.
I was wondering where that one came from. I don't remember David Crockett. What do you say? Killing a bobcat or?
killed me a bear when I was only 3.
Yeah, I was like, who was that? Is that a president? No, apparently not. Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, maybe.
Didn't he play him?
Billy Bob.
I thought
Alabama.
he played Bowie.
Bowie. That's it. Bowie. Bowie. That's
David
a different.
Bowie.
That's a
Bowie's
different.
different.
I prefer Bowie myself, but
Bowie in space.
Ooh-wee.
No, that scene where James Garner's talking down to him because he doesn't know history. I'm pretty sure I've had that exact same conversation a dozen times with people. You don't know shit, do you?
here. You mean Here Was Shay?
Yeah.
I've got about 3 hours of it on record.
I'm so glad I went home that night.
That's pretty much what the conversation was.
Oh,
Well, that whole scene hits a little bit different in today than it did when that first aired because, at the time they made this movie, it was a scene where it would connect those characters with the working people. you know?
Right.
It's very emotional, very honest. Now you're like, wait, we're not allowed to fact check you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
You don't
sorry.
want to trigger anybody.
That's right.
So
That guy's got a following of 100,000 people on.
So when that
On
happened,
social media.
I unironically felt a little triggered.
Well, in the end, where he's talking about his duty as president and all that shit, and he even says, "You never talked like that in the race." And like, no one talks like that.
Yeah.
Especially not right now.
Let me ask you this: would the movie had been better if it were younger presidents instead of the old ass presidents?
I think you needed the. I mean, that was the
Yeah.
shtick for.
Because the one trivia that I did find somewhat interesting was it was originally supposed to be cast younger presidents. Dustin Hoffman,
So-
Robin Williams.
Oh, so it was going to be like the oddball comedy as opposed to them being.
Yeah, it was
More
gonna be like
similar.
Old man
Hook
comedy.
2.
Can you picture Robin Williams playing it straight long enough in a comedy role to be a president, to be presidential?
He's been a
He-
doctor.
He did win the campaign.
But it would have
Man
been
of the Year.
more funny. Just these old ass guys trying to like evade, Secret Service.
Yeah, Secret
Alright,
Service
yeah,
looks
That's where it
real
all kind of
bad in
just
this
falls
movie.
apart. Like going back to the plot, like how Taylor described it, I was like, that movie sounds like ass. And then you play it out, you're like, kind of is, just these old guys outwitting somehow Secret Service the entire movie, and they're not even that resourceful, but yet they are. I don't get it.
Not to mention that they walked right into the White House, up into the Oval Office with no resistance whatsoever.
I get it. It's a movie, but come on.
Well,
This is pre. Hey, you know what? This is pre 9/11.
yeah.
Things were much more chill. Things were
They used to give tours of
much
the White
more
House.
chill.
Do they not do that anymore?
I don't know. I think they're significantly more restricted.
They still give tours of the White House, but like you're checked at the gate at security. Like you run through several security checks.
Yeah.
And
They don't do nearly as many
yeah.
tours and things like that. You got to book in advance and give all your info.
Well, I know one thing hasn't changed. You still need a gun for the farmer's market.
Yeah, I get it.
That's the same. Ask Sally. Keeps two in Sally's
Soda
hydration
guns?
station. Make sure I get it right. Anything else, Cameron?
Really good. There's nothing to unpack here.
I think it was. This was an easy summer movie to take the family to.
Yeah.
That was the cash grab with this one.
Surely it didn't do that well.
I have no idea.
I mean, it just kind of like
Who is it?
Man, I don't know.
Oh, I bet it made its money back.
Oh yeah.
This is
'Cause this was right after the Clinton scandal, wasn't it?
Clinton.
No, right before.
Yeah, Lewinsky
Yeah.
was 2 years later.
Oh yeah, that was 98.
yeah. This is a grandparent movie where the grandparents love it. Love it.
Good for the whole family.
And Cameron has to sit through it
That's right.
because
You'll
Christmas
sit there
was
and you'll
yesterday.
like it.
Just if you don't like it, just be quiet. Just be quiet while we're watching it.
Oh, the good old days.
Talking to theaters.
This is literally one though. Like if I ever see it pop up on the TV guide, it's an automatic scroll past. If anyone ever says, "Hey, do you want to watch?" No, it's an immediate no now.
I want to go back and just play the angrier Cameron gets through the pods as we make him watch more and more movies that he hates. We're gonna have to play something really good so he sticks around for another month.
Again, this is on me for not asking clarifying questions before I come over here. I need to ask what we're watching every single time.
This is your issue.
He's just gonna lie to you every time.
Yeah,
Probably.
I feel like your issue with this movie is this is, in your opinion, medium bad, where there's not enough badness to really enjoy,
100%.
and there's not enough goodness for you to genuinely enjoy.
That's correct.
There's a couple of jokes that you laughed at.
Yeah.
and that was it.
Kind of funny. Yeah, it's funny when you say dick. Love that.
Like The Wet Dream, you're a fan of that,
It's
weren't
funny.
you? You're
Yeah.
always, I know you're a fan
Few
of.
and far between
Yeah.
falls a little short.
Yep.
That's the perfect way to describe it.
Yep.
You know me better than I know me, Taylor. You know that.
Look, I get it. This movie's not medium bad. It's great.
It finished 71st at the box office in 1996.
Okay, so it didn't even win its week.
Can you imagine there were 70 movies better than this that year?
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
don't remember.
That sounds right.
that
I
sounds.
can't even think of 70 movies I would have wanted to watch in any given year. New releases.
So say, don't you go see a new release at least once a week, James?
No.
How many did you go see last week?
One.
I know where this
How
is
many
going
you see
already.
this week?
None.
I don't believe it.
It did make its money back.
Boom.
You get Jack Lemmon, you make lemonade.
That's right.
That joke was worthy of this movie.
And I'm out.
Just medium bad.
You've just qualified to be a writer in a 1996 hit movie.
It feels right for this film. Sally's just.
Yeah, but there's also
You guys
some,
can see her too, right?
who there were some great films that hit the box office in '96 though.
This is-
Rattle them off.
I mean,
Rattle them off.
Titanic.
Titanic. That's the one I was gonna
Titanic, Twisters,
say. Dumb and Dumber.
Sleep. I think Sleepers, Executive Decision, Dust Till
Sleepers.
Dawn,
Dumb and Dumber.
Ghost in the Darkness, Cable Guy, Dumb and Dumber. I think Happy Gilmore was out this year too, or was that '95?
no. Was it 96?
Yeah, because I rented
That
Happy
could be,
Gilmore
yeah.
and Twister from Blockbuster at the same time because they were both new releases.
Mm.
The number one movie in 96 was Independence Day.
Oh.
Uh,
Welcome
Followed
to
by
Earth.
Twister.
That's a banger.
Mm.
Independence
I've
Day or
not seen this
Twister?
Independence Day film you speak of.
Independence Day's
Escape from L.A. came out in
summer,
'96.
that was a summer blockbuster. It took summer blockbuster to a new level.
And then there's this film.
Broken Arrow, Long Kiss Goodnight.
Well, you can see. I mean,
bangers.
Broken
the top
Arrow.
10 list is pretty impressive,
Ooh,
actually.
Multiplicity was on
we got
that
Jerry
year, too.
Maguire that year.
Yeah,
Hey,
Jerry
Thief.
Maguire.
The Nutty Professor came out that year. Now,
Hell
talk about
yeah.
your over-the-top comedies. That's what I'm talking about. This was
You
soft
like
serve
Nutty
comedy.
Professor?
A Time
when
to
I
Kill.
was 6,
You
Taylor.
would, you would like Nutty Professor.
I was 6
man.
when it came out.
Yeah.
There were-
Of course.
There
That's
were
your
so many
movie.
fart jokes in it. Of course he loved it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's absolutely.
I was 6.
That's absolutely.
Biodome
the
came
movie
out that
you
year,
like.
too. Down Periscope,
See, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Pauly
It's like,
Shore, and Stephen Baldwin. Yeah.
now, just imagine that many great movies in one year coming out. I don't know what I'm going to watch this
The
weekend.
Substitute, The Rock came out in '96.
I go a whole month now without seeing something that's worth watching.
Cameron's favorite Christmas movie, Jingle All the Way with Arnold.
Have you seen
Came
Baby
out in
Girl?
96.
Baby Girl, Nicole Kidman.
Mars Attacks.
I'm trying to
Man.
get my wife to go see it.
That was the other one I was thinking of. I was like, I know we have another 96 movie we did recently. You like the ones where Eddie Murphy plays a fat guy, huh?
I was 6.
I just wanted to hear you say it again.
I was 6.
Make sure I have
Save
that
that
sound
one.
bite right.
I'm not saying yes. I was 6.
Yeah.
Uncle Steven took it as a yes, though.
Hercules.
See, there it is.
This movie.
Happy birthday.
Well, we didn't pick it because it was your birthday.
Space Jam?
Everybody get up.
Don't be a
I
menace.
think we'll have
was out.
to let you pick a movie this month.
Your best movie of 1996, please.
Cameron,
Let's watch that.
Cameron, I'm gonna work on
Little
picking
Giants.
out a movie.
Love it.
I'm gonna pick a movie that Cameron is gonna love.
See, going back, it needs to be really bad
Yeah,
or good.
I'm gonna pick.
Two
I'm
really
gonna pick
good.
a movie you're gonna love.
That sliver in between.
I've already got it.
No
I
good.
already have this movie.
Slither
I
was a
already-
great
I
film.
already have this movie, and it's called The Snowman, and we're gonna
God
watch
damn
it.
it.
Hey-oh.
This has been teed up for years. at
That's
this point.
Christmas 2025,
No,
my
no,
guy.
no.
No, yeah.
No, it's winter.
How about the first snowfall of the year?
That happens.
Yeah, that could be Sunday.
All right, take it back.
15th snowfall of the year. All right, anything else on this?
It's great. Go watch it.
Not a lot to unpack. I enjoyed it.
James Garner did it.
It's a fun watch, but it's not winning any awards.
Unless it did.
Yeah.
It's just like a style of
Won the
comedy
Cameron
that
Award.
just is just not made anymore. They just don't make it.
There's just 70 movies that you should watch before this that came out in 1996.
According to that list.
That
That is correct.
that's how you need to.
Beavis
Think
and
about
Butthead Do America was also in that list.
See, where do you think they got
Yeah.
the old lady from?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So many sluts, you won't know what to do with yourself.
That's a good call out. All right, I say go watch it if you like old people stuff.
Cameron's already trying to run
I
away.
was waiting to see if I could get him to turn around.
So you're saying you like old people stuff, Rob? Brian,
Sometimes.
you like old people stuff. Taylor's kind of on the fence of liking old people stuff.
Oh, he's an old person.
Does James like old people stuff?
I if I'm looking for something to watch with my parents, this will be it.
There you go. Old person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This
Jack
movie,
Lemmon.
this movie will kill
Every movie has an
the
audience.
parents.
And Dorothy. All right, well, that's my fellow Americans. I do want to say thanks to HG.
Yeah.
I haven't given him a shout out, and he's been awesome supporting us and giving us random things to help us film and record and things like that. Do you want? Yeah, Harry Gregory. Is that better? HG, I bet you liked this movie, so email me and tell me how much you liked it. If you haven't seen it, we've got a copy.
Yep.
All right,
Thanks for taking care of my parents.
all right, Charlie.